threatening him and intimidating the opposition. Speaking when he addressed PF supporters that gathered at the party secretariat in Lusaka, Mr. Lungu also accused government of cowardice and said he does not subscribe to threats.
What I know is that man is a coward. That man is a coward. That's why I have to get in China. No, my brother is going to Papa,
And in studio, we are joined by UPND member Frank Bwalya. Mr. Bwalya, thank you so much for making time this evening.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's get your reaction to the clip that we just watched.
Well, the first thing we want to say as UPND is that each time the former president is addressing a meeting, is appearing on the media, we are on the lookout. We are ready, we position ourselves to listen to what he's going to say so that we'll be able to respond. And I must say that each time he finishes saying whatever he wants to say, we feel relaxed because there are no serious scrutiny, serious criticisms of the policy of the UPND that are worth responding to at that level. And this is the reason why to a clip such as that one, you see a person like me who is a member of the UPND, also a member of the Presidential Support Program, responding to that clip. Okay. What we see in that clip, I think, doesn't inspire confidence. And if indeed the former president wants Zambians to give him a second chance, we don't think that is the kind of message that would make the people take him seriously.
There seems to be suggestions of violence, threats and anarchy. What is your advice to the former president?
We want to believe that Zambians would agree with us that under the leadership of President Dr. Hakainde Hichilema, there is sanity. No one can question the fact that there is restoration of the rule of law, no cadreism. The man enjoyed his freedom. No cadres went to disrupt their meeting. So they're enjoying their freedom to express themselves. Unfortunately, they are not enjoying that freedom to provide credible checks and balances for the benefit of the Zambian people. So there are no threats, and Zambians know that. And we want to encourage him to continue exercising, enjoying his freedom, engaging his supporters and so on. It's not for us to tell him what kind of message would make Zambians take him seriously. But so far, we are comfortable. It's a blessing in disguise because we don't have any meaningful criticism coming from him.
As UPND, how do you take such sentiments?
Well, we take those sentiments, of course, with the contempt that they deserve, but at the same time, we do believe that those who are in government, the president and the ministers, will ensure that this country continues to be a peaceful country, that our people continue to be united, and that we are stable in order to continue attracting investment, and that even Zambians who want to invest in their own country can know that this country will continue to be peaceful, will continue to be stable, and that we can provide for our people.
Mr. Bwalya, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
All right. And in other news, former Vice President Neves Mumba says the suspension of 3 Constitutional Court judges by President Hakainde Hichilema is a message that no one is exempt from scrutiny if there is suspicion of wrongdoing. Dr. Mumba says President Hichilema has a responsibility to suspend any judge if there is overwhelming and verified evidence against them. He told ZNBC News that Zambians for now should wait for relevant authorities to establish if the judges were right or wrong. And governance activist Gregory Chifire said there is no need to politicize the suspension of the 3 Constitutional Court judges. Mr. Chifire said it was not President Hichilema's personal decision to suspend the 3 judges, but a recommendation by the Judicial Complaints Commission. Meanwhile, Ndola-based democracy advocate Fabian Mutale says assertions that President Hichilema fired the 3 judges are baseless and only meant to attract sympathy by the opposition.
A message that is being sent that none of us is exempted from scrutiny, whether we are in the church, even in our church. I remove bishops from different churches if I feel like, they are not taking the church in the right direction. And these are holy men of God. But every grouping has authority. And if we see that some people have questions that they must answer, I think that the president has the responsibility to release that information. And I think if the president is wrong, the processes of government are going to prove that in the due course. But let Zambians wait to find out what those 3 judges have been charged with.
To begin with, it's not the president that has instituted the changes, but it's the Judicial Complaints Commission that has taken a recommendation to the president for the suspension of the judges. This is in accordance to Article 144, sub-Article 3 of the Constitution, which states that the president shall, within 7 days, suspend a judge upon receipt of a recommendation from the JCC. So this particular article provision in the Constitution is very instructive and mandatory, that it leaves the president with no room but to act within that 7 days to suspend the judges.
What the president did was just to follow the constitutional provisions where the judges will be given an opportunity to be heard and they have to defend themselves. So the assertions that the 3 judges have been fired by the president is a misinterpretation and is meant to gain an unnecessary sympathy from the people, an agenda driven by those with a hidden agenda in the political arena.
Yesterday, President